White here with another day in the life of an EHS consultant. Today I'm going to describe how I handle respiratory protection. So respiratory protection and OSHA compliance with this program can be a little bit more complicated than most other programs, right? You need to do things like reviewing your program. You need to be doing a hazard assessment on your chemicals. You need to be performing annual training for your employees, doing an annual fit testing, medical evaluations, inspecting your respirators, knowing what to do with your respirators and what cartridges to use to protect from the hazards, right? There's a lot that goes into this program. Today I'm going to describe how I handle these annual tasks, and I do all of that within a software system. This is ProactEHS that I specifically use for my consulting business. It helps me keep track of all of the documentation and paperwork. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you how I handle all of these tasks. First off, training. So training is really important. Respiratory protection, there is an annual training requirement associated with that. So the first thing we do is in the learning management system, I created a respiratory protection, respiratory protection training. So I'm going to come in here and edit this so you can see what the pieces of this look like. So we've got our generic training. So this is the training that's going to go over all of the OSHA requirements. So this is going to get you, quote unquote, compliant. From there, we go into site specific. So this is talking about risk for your facility. And this is like the key, in my opinion. Like, we want to be OSHA compliant, but we want to go in and talk about the actual risks. So in this video, we're going and talking specifically about what respirators are being used, why they're being used, and what they're being used for. And you can see here we're actually going through a chemical hazard assessment that we did through the hazard communication program in order to figure out what to use. From there, there's a quiz to verify competence, right? It's a 10-question quiz. They have to get at least an 80% in order to pass. And as soon as that happens, we then go on to the respiratory fit test, okay? And this needs to be done on an annual basis. And since the training is annual, we just link those together. So what happens is an employee is going to get assigned the 2 training videos, do the quiz, and then the respiratory fit test form that I created in the form builder will automatically be assigned. And right now it's being assigned to this individual here that is on site. And what's cool about that then is if I come into forms, see here, we've got the respiratory annual inspection there. We've got a respiratory fit test document. So in here, what happens is, let's just say I get assigned it. I can go through, are they clean shaven? Or what kind of, have they done their fit checks before? What kind of fit testing are you doing, right? I usually do qualitative. We happen to do bitter the last time, so we can say whether it's bitter, sweet, right? These are like the different test agencies that you do. And then the employee actually comes and signs off to verify that those things were correct, right? And there's other things that we do for the fit testing, like the testing without the mask on to make sure that you can actually taste the bitter solution, and then putting the mask on and doing double the amount of pumps, right? All part of that approved OSHA process of doing that. But we record all of that right here. So then what we can do is we can come in here and take a look at those anytime we need to take a look at those. The other piece that I always do during this training, as long as I have everyone on site, is I have them do an annual inspection of the respirator as well. So in here, they're taking their time, really taking a look at their respirator and actually documenting anything associated with damages or whether it's in good working condition. They need to do an inspection and their fit tests before each use, but this is just another way to make people slow down a little bit, check some boxes to make sure they're actually looking at every single component of the respirator. And I found specifically that that's very, very helpful. The last piece is the medical evaluation. So the medical evaluation is something that has to be done outside of like a software system because you have to have a medical professional do that. I usually use the 3M online medical evaluation survey tool. But what's cool about the system and the personnel files is I add everything into people's personnel files. So then it's all still included in one system. So if I take a look at this individual here, we recently just did a inspection with him, or a fit test with him. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure his medical evaluation was also in here. So in the attachments field, I have the medical evaluation for the respirator here, and I even have the expiration date, right? Because based on the inspection or the evaluation by the doctor, it could be a 1 year re-evaluation, a 2 year, a 3 year. This person happened to be a 3 year, so they were good until 2025. So overall, this is how I handle all of the respiratory protection requirements. I handle it all within the system, so then I don't have to keep track of a ton of paperwork. It's all in their personnel files. It's all within the forms and the database there, and it's all automated. So in this training, the training that I showed you, every 365 days, it will automatically be reassigned them, and then I will automatically be assign that fit test document. So I don't have to keep track of it via pen and paper, via a spreadsheet. It's all done for me. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.